Alright guys, welcome back to another quick play. This time we're taking a look at LandlordGO. So in my past channel history there are a few videos on some other Landlord games which I've done in the past. This one is a little bit different though. This one takes that whole stock market, real estate kind of buying situation out into the real world. You can augmented reality style. So we think, like Pokemon Go or any of those types of games where you go out in the real world and find things. This is kind of the same style, except you can buy businesses and trade them online, which is super cool. So for example, right now we're looking at a little piece of New York with a couple of items, just starting the tutorial here. And if we pull this up, you can see these are all businesses that are real live businesses in the world. They absolutely exist. If you go to their address, they're absolutely there. Now, the way it works is I've got a little bit of starting cash here. There are microtransaction coins involved that you can use as well. But the game does already give you plenty of these. So, at least based on what I've read so far. So let's go ahead and get into it and see a little bit what this game's like, see what it's about. So we'll go ahead, let's see here, let's pick a property that we can start with. Let's start with this shopping center. That one looks pretty good. So you can see here, this 1,000 underneath it is how many, I guess, shares, I guess you could say, are of that property. And multiple people can own pieces of the same property. So you see how much your buy is, what your total rent return is. So that's what you're going to get from this property every day. So I'm going to go ahead and click buy. Excellent. Nicely done. So our lawyers are doing their thing. So let's go look at our portfolio. So this is basically where all of our businesses that we own are going to be listed. So you see how this one's running right now. We've got the little kind of note scribbly thing going on there and a little timer underneath it, so that tells us when that business is going to be ready to go. Now I will say this real quick before I get too much further into this. This game was brought to my attention by the developers. They reached out to me and asked me to do some content on it. I thought I would go ahead and take a look at it, so this is a little bit of a sponsored video. But also, I've actually been playing this on one of my other accounts quite actively in my local area. It's a fair bit of fun. So you can, think about when you go to, say like a restaurant or something, right? You go to a restaurant, you don't have to have, if you have the cash, you can go buy shares of those locations around you. If you want to go, walk around your city or something like that, you can build up your profits, compete against other players in the world, buy and sell and trade and all that kind of good stuff. You can even go so far as to upgrade things as well. So like we've got this one here that we've just bought. So now if we go here, this collect button is going to be the button that we use to get all of our rent. So if we click our collection button, there we go, we get rent from it, and we'll get that from it every so often. So let's set up our character. We pretty much have our character already set up, so we're just going to kind of go as it is. Done. Excellent. All right, so we finished the tutorial. Buy more properties and move on. So you can see that we've already hang on, we got a pop up here. Let's say, okay, so it's a microtransaction advertisement there. But you've got these property values here, and you can hold so much per day. And you can increase that by spending coins on those items. So let's go, if we go over here, you can see all of your, I guess, skills, I guess you'd call them. And this kind of allows you to increase like how many properties you can own and reduced costs, for them, increase slots for paperwork so you can have more than one property being processed at a time, things like that. All these kinds of things to help speed up the process or grow your empire. So if we click over here, We've got some other kind of milestone achievement type situations. So buy 3 skills, earn so much, 500,000 all upgrades. And then of course you've got your mail properties here. So it kind of gives you a running log of what you're doing. Down here at the bottom, there's an auction house, which we haven't reached at level 3, so we can't see the auction house, but the auction house is worldwide. So you can buy properties or pieces of properties from all over the place that other players are auctioning off. And then this last tab over here, this one shows our competition against other folks in the world. So you can see here I've got it set on the US, so you can see all the players in the US, all their names and their worths underneath them. So we've got the top guy there is worth $11.9 trillion. Now you can go wider than that if you want to see worldwide. Here it is. So this shows all the worldwide competition out there. So there's a lot of people playing right now. And as you grow your empire, you'll be able to, buy and sell and trade property just like you would in the world. So we're getting 199.8k a day from this one. We can click on these. We can do upgrades, which allow you to gain more out of your properties. If you buy more pieces of your property or own the whole property, you'll obviously get more return on that as well. So these are all things that are kind of around in this area where my location is set. And you can kind of see all the different kind of things. So this is the one that we bought earlier. When we get some more cash, which we have now, we can actually buy another 9 shares of this property. Done. And then you get return from that every day. One thing to note about this is if you plan on playing this a lot, I would highly recommend in investing. See, I've already got some more gold coins up there at the top, so we've gotten a few more too. What I would suggest doing is investing in property slots. You'll also want to invest in the amount of properties you can have being processed at a time. On my other account, I do have I think 2 slots open for that right now, and it allows me to kind of buy a couple a day, which is kind of nice to be able to process more than one at a time. Some of these spaces you can see they're worth a lot more. You can see the total overall value there, and you can see how much is left for that particular property. Some of these, so see like this one, that's the one that we bought earlier. It's actually gone down, but this one here has been bought completely, and it'll show you who is the owner of that, and then of course you can make an offer to buy that property away from that person. Now all of this is powered by the Google Maps, so you can kind of see the city that you are walking around in. You can see pretty much everything that you can see on the map, and occasionally you will see we can turn the 3D off or on, and that will show that a little bit differently, but you can kind of see how it shows the city, and shows the streets and stuff that you're on. That's a terrible view right there. Hang on a second. It doesn't handle scrolling out that well, at least from the way that I'm running it right now to be able to get this recorded. So you can see all these different businesses and all the buildings and stuff. It's pretty cool. I've had a fair amount of fun with this. The other thing is, let's see. Oh yes, so the other thing on the map, occasionally a couple times a day or whatever, you will see little suitcases that spawn on the map. These allow you to pick up extra cash. Sometimes they have coins in them and some other stuff that kind of give you some bonuses and allow you to kind of do some upgrades and things like that. So there is some reward for playing this. Just as you level and as you play, you'll get gold coins. You'll be able to spend them on perks and things. So it's one of those situations where you don't have to spend the money to go out and buy the microtransaction coin if you don't want to. There's plenty of space in the game to be able to get those on your own if you work for them. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed this little quick preview of LandlordGO. Like I said, don't take my word for it. Go out and get the game for yourself. Give it a try. Go out and buy your favorite neighborhood businesses. Check them out. See if you can collect a huge big empire of businesses. And just enjoy yourself. Alright guys, I know this is a little bit different than my usual quick play. Because usually I don't play these games first, but I have spent some time in this one, so I had a little bit of background on this one already. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit that like button. If you like the channel and want to see and be notified of other content, hit that notification button and the subscribe button as well, please. It helps me out so much when doing this. I appreciate it. Alright guys, I think that's going to do it this time. We'll see you next time.